morning, Signature Real Estate Group. Thanks so much for joining us today for our Tuesday sales meeting. I'm Vandana Bala, in case you didn't know, and I've got all the really cool brokers with me today, except for Brandon, but he'll like whack-a-mole through the meeting. He is here though.
With one of my shirts.
We wanted Tom shirts. Our sponsor today. Thank you, Tom, for doing that. I'm gonna pass it on to, I can't even think anymore. It's almost like the Real Estate Exposed opening. Shelly, you're on, girl.
Awesome. Happy Tuesday, everyone. So today we're going to talk a little bit about interest rates. We've actually seen a little leveling off of rates, which is a great thing. But I want to take you back because I think we all have selective memory. And so pre-pandemic, we were actually hovering in the 4.25, 4.5 range. And today we're 3.25 to 3.5 range. So rates are still very, very low. I know we have taken a little bit of an increase, but we have actually slowed down on that increase. I also want to share with you, I think 2 Fridays ago, I shared that Fannie Mae made a decision to limit the amount of second home and investment properties that were being serviced by them or sold to them. And so we've actually found a different investor who will allow a little bit more competitive in pricing for our second homes and investment products. So if you have any questions in regards to rates just in general or with those second homes and investment clients, please make sure to reach out to one of your Prosperity Lending loan officers. And if you checked out our mortgage moment, one thing that Jason Mavoro talked about yesterday was in regards to our stimulus. So the stimulus checks, I understand, are on their way if they haven't already been dropped into your accounts or checks dropped into your mailbox. That can be used for down payment assistance, along with our down payment assistance programs as well. So, and tax refunds have actually been extended through May 17th. So keep in mind that that's still some opportunity for tax refunds plus the stimulus checks, helping our clients getting into homes with their own savings. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to one of your Prosperity Lending loan officers, and I'll give it back to our brokers. Back to you, Vandana.
Thank you. Shelly, I have a question.
Yes.
Where's my stimulus check?
You think I'm the one providing the stimulus
got it. All right, just making sure.
Well, you can check for your stimulus check on irs.gov, and there's a thing that says when you go on there, where's my payment? You click on that, give it some information, and it'll tell you when your stimulus check's going to be mailed or dropped in your account.
Did you get one?
Never.
Yes.
You got a stimulus
Absolutely. I don't make any money here.
Right on top of that, Rose. I'll check that out for you by the end of the sales
All right,
meeting.
I'm going to check that out. I'm going to look that up. What's going on? What are we talking about today?
So I have my whole list. As you can see, I'm ready.
I'm trying not to
you guys have
steal
your
it.
list too, I
Yes,
see.
yeah.
Yeah, of course you do. So let's talk about a couple of events we have coming up. First off, we have a great event here at the Southwest office. Well, you didn't plan it. The great event here at the Southwest office at 4 o'clock. It's a vision board.
That's why he doesn't make any
vision
money.
board.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Put that on your vision board.
last year we didn't get around to it because of the pandemic, and so we
I
decided
got to stop you there. My
do it.
father used to have round to it's because you'd say
Round
round
to
to
it?
it. It was a little piece of wood. It said round to it.
I remember those.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
So we didn't get round to it last year, and so we're going to be doing vision boards today in the Southwest office. There will be booze and wine, same thing I know, but also some cheese. There'll be charcuterie board.
Some cheese.
So what we ask is that you bring some magazines, bring your vision for your vision board, what you'd like on there. We have a couple of magazines in the office, but not a ton. So make sure you grab some magazines if you're looking for something specific, and we'll have all the other stuff.
Why do you do a vision board?
I do it because I want to be able to see every day what it is that I'm working towards by the end of the year.
Wait,
right?
you're going to see it every day? Like
Every
you have
day.
to carry it around with
No,
you?
I'm going to put it in I'm going to wake up to it every morning. So my last vision board that I made was 2 years ago, and I actually accomplished everything on there except for the boyfriend. But everything else was a check, all the way down. I wanted a pool, I got that done. I wanted new closets, I got that done. Right? So everything else on my vision board happened except for the guy.
Imagine that.
Okay, we're going to move on from that, but thank you for
No,
sharing. We really,
welcome.
really appreciate that.
No comment.
So I'm going to be teaching the buyer broker class in the Green Valley office on Thursday from 12 to 1.
Now, will that be live streamed as well?
It will be live
For
streamed.
those of us in Southwest.
Yes,
that can see it?
it'll be live streamed, and I'm going to share
Well, wait, it's
what's
a live event, so everybody can come to Green Valley.
Yes.
You don't have to stay here. You could drive. There's a freeway. It's called the 215. Get on.
I know. And unfortunately, I have another.
Oh, you have an event.
Road runs
So
both ways.
it'll be live streamed also, but you can also
live.
come and be a part of the meeting.
Because everybody's been vaccinated, right?
And no, but I've had it before. Does that count?
Antibodies.
That too.
Yes.
That's
Same
vaccination, right? The hard way. But just, I want to just point out that the reason we're having this buyer broker class is because as we talk about the DOJs and all the things that are coming down because of that lawsuit, you're going to really have to know how to use it, buyer broker agreement.
Yeah.
And you should be using it anyway. So if you're not using it, you're afraid to use it, you don't know how to present it, Chris is an expert at it. He's going to show you exactly how to do that.
You heard it here first, folks.
An expert.
Not only because of the DOJ case, but now if you're showing a new home to a buyer, you're probably not going to get a commission at all.
Yeah.
And the $500 they will give you won't go for anything, but it's just a good idea. I mean, what's the difference between a realtor and a taxi?
Buyer broker agreement.
Taxi gets tips. Bum. Okay, and then our last event this week is at the Summerlin office.
Before you go to that, can I just
Slow
say
down.
something about the buyer brokerage agreement?
Please.
Absolutely.
Your public awaits.
So yesterday, for the first time ever, I signed a commission order and typed on the bottom, and obviously it was two and a half to each agent, but typed on the bottom of the commission order from the title company said, buyers to pay buyer's agent 0.5% commission. I went, whoa, this is the first one of those that I've seen.
That's awesome.
Really?
I see a lot more of that.
Do it all the time.
I do it every.
Well, I've never seen, I don't sign.
Sometimes it's even her commission order.
I'll send you my commission next time. Was that
But
for
I-
Mark?
No,
No.
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 So Mark, you should get that from Mark every time.
It was from my darling agent Corey.
Congratulations, Corey. Very
Yeah,
good.
way to go, Corey.
It's the way to go.
Yeah.
Don't forget though, on buyer
How could
broker
I?
agreement, Article 9.
Yes.
That's it. That's all I gotta say.
Code of
I know you know
Ethics,
the rest because
Article
you're an
9.
expert. Next.
Yeah, there we go. So Summerlin is having a happy hour. Tell us about the happy hour.
Yeah.
Okay,
On
so
Friday at 4.
it's just been amazing. The more people I talk to in the Summerlin office, when I run out to the copier and I go, sorry, I forgot my mask, but I've been vaccinated. They go, oh, I've been vaccinated too. So today was the first day of, this week was the first day of spring, so it's gonna be happy spring. And also Becky Dunn, who has been in our office every day. She's worked as an assistant for the Patrick team, but she did have a cubicle in our office. And a lot of you will remember her from working in the Green Valley office. She's leaving and going with her husband, following him actually to Florida. And so it's a farewell for Becky. So if you're in the Green Valley office and worked with Becky, you're welcome to come. I'm buying all the booze personally, and if you come, you have to bring an appetizer to share. Starts at 4 o'clock. Please RSVP to Bobby so I don't buy one bottle of wine. Okay, thanks.
All right.
Would you really have bought one bottle of wine
No.
though? Okay.
I'd
Just
bought at
asking.
least one red and one white.
Hey, so I'm curious, you guys kept talking about vaccination.
One case.
So you've had one shot.
Yeah, I had one shot.
You've had one
I've
shot.
had two.
You've had two, so you've completed both of them?
I'm good.
Did any of you get sick during the vaccination part? Did you get sick?
I did it for a day.
For a day and then it was over and you were great? That's awesome. Did you have the pain in your arm the whole time?
Oh, I raised
totally
my
went
arm
down.
way up. It was sore, but
Yeah, I had complete man flu the next day. I was like a little whimpering kid on the sofa.
How is that
Same
different?
as usual, same as usual.
that's a man.
Cool. All right, so Tom, Vaughn, and myself, we sit on the legislative management team for Nevada Realtors, and
And
that's
I
been,
pay attention.
Yeah, she pays attention out of the group. It's been a fun time had by all, but we're in the middle of the session and all the things going on, and you're going to give us a little mini legislative update. So tell us what's going on.
So last
Mini.
week, I know.
Mini.
The problem
Don't
is,
clown
have
around
you-
with
So
this.
here's
Give
the
us a
thing.
minute.
Last week, we had 27 bills to read. 27 bills.
did?
Oh, good Lord. So
Yes, we did.
Chris read
27
3,
bills.
Tom read 7, she wrote 27.
Yeah. So we had 27 bills to read. There's a lot of stuff coming down
Yes.
the pipeline that's going to affect real estate, and some of them in a major way. Most of them are going to be landlord-tenant stuff. There is a bill that you should have gotten yesterday an opposition email about, which means that you have to oppose it. You don't have to, you can do what you want, but we'd really appreciate it if you opposed it. But we're asking that you take action. It's on SB 218. And there's a couple of things that it does. So let me also remind you guys real quick. So every week I actually look at the Advocate. I read that. So I read the bills on like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We would discuss them on Thursday. And then Friday we get the Advocate and I read that too.
The advocates from Nevada Realtors.
correct.
So if you don't get it, you need to let them know so they can
Yeah,
actually
let
do
us,
that.
Yep.
Yeah.
either Vaughn or I know.
Yep.
So we can get it to them.
Let Tom know.
Yeah.
He needs something to do.
Because there are people that
And then
opted out years ago, and then because they opted out, they don't get it at all.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's really important that you follow up on this. This is pretty much where I get all the updates. This is how I update you because I don't want to misspeak. I also don't want to give my opinion about some of this stuff, even though sometimes it's hard for me to not do that. So SB 218, if it's passed, it has a couple of consequences that I believe are going to be dangerous. I believe, the committee believes, our state believes that will be dangerous to families and their ability to find sustainable housing. The landlord will be prohibited from demanding or receiving a security deposit, including the last month's rent, whose total amount or value exceeds 3 months. You stop it. They are also prohibited from getting a cleaning deposit whose total amount exceeds 15% of the periodic rent. It would prohibit a landlord from charging a prospective tenant a fee for the submission of a rental application. I mean, that's horse crap right there, right? I mean, how are we supposed to check their credit and see if they're eligible to rent?
Yes,
I mean,
I
don't guess. You look like, and I feel like that's more discriminatory than anything else. You look like you'd have a 500 credit score or a 750. I mean,
Is there a way to alter these bills?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or
Yes.
is it just a kill it or don't kill it?
Well, some of them are a kill it because it's so bad,
quite
it's
honestly,
just not worth it to alter it.
Quite honestly, the last one where you charge the fee, I get that you charge the fee, but in today's world where you're getting 15 applications and 15 fees, I mean, that appears to the public as everyone's getting robbed for their $75 and you're only picking one tenant.
Well, let me back this up for a second. So similar to what Erica was talking about last week, where she has a couple of questions that she calls different property managers about. One of those questions is, how do you accept applications? Are you taking them all and setting them next to each other? Are you doing a first come, first serve? Because a first come, first serve means they're processing the first application, then if that one gets denied, then they're moving to the next one. That's how we do it here at Signature. Ding. And
We don't clown around here.
we don't clown around
This
here.
is-
You stop it right.
This is,
And we're not charging an arm and a
we
leg.
just do it the right
And
way.
we don't, right?
Right,
So
some people are charging 150 bucks.
if the first applicant gets accepted, then all the other applicants, all 14 of the other applicants, get their application fee back.
Good.
Right?
But that's not
So that's not how it
the
is.
law, that's just how we do it
Correct.
because we do it right.
Now, for something like this, that would probably be an acceptable,
Workaround.
workaround where it's not like an
Could you
all.
guys present that to the committee?
Absolutely, and so that's what we do on Thursdays.
Wait. So there's a lot of moving parts to this because I don't want this to get construed.
Yeah.
So some legislator who had some issue in their family
Correct.
or had a friend that went through it gets upset about something, right? A property manager took advantage of them somewhere 20 years ago. And now, today, they had an issue, and so they're elected, and they're like, I'm gonna fix this, but they don't know anything really about what a property manager does, so they go out and get feelers from other property managers and info and their staff and everyone else, and then they put up this bill. And then they go through their party politics on their side of the aisle, wherever they're going, the lobbyists come in, they look how it affects everybody, and then sometimes it's like, this bill's so dumb, we're just gonna fight to kill it, because there's no way we can fix how bad it is.
Right.
There are others where they'll let the bill pass, but they'll re-regulate it. So laws created, and then when they actually put it to the real estate division or group to regulate it, they'll change how we interact with it.
Right.
This whole thing just from beginning to end stinks, and so that's why we're doing a call to action to get enough support to say, please, let's not go down this road.
So what happens is when you do the call to action, you pose it, then it's an opportunity for whatever person put it together, the bill together, to say,
reconsider.
hey, we should reconsider, maybe we need to change the language on here so that the realtors support us. Because we are a pretty big group. I mean, we're over 50, well,
largest
and it's
trade
not just
group in the state.
realtors, yeah, but it's not just realtors, it's the,
Real estate
it's
agents,
real estate agents, it
landlords,
affects
yeah.
everyone, yeah. So you know which one was really cool that I want to talk about? I won't talk about the
I
rest
don't
of
know how you
these.
can say any of them are really cool.
The composition of the real estate commission. I thought that one was really cool, right? So they're actually considering, so SB 280 to go from 5 commissioners to 7. I think
That
that's
happened
pretty
2 years
awesome.
ago,
Wait,
and
wait,
2 years
wait.
ago, and 2 years ago.
But who are they gonna add?
Me, I've always wanted to be a commissioner.
They're
Can you
gonna add
imagine?
a normal person from the
Those
public.
meetings would go from 4 hours to 14.
So they're trying, hold on, they wanna add a person from the public and then a person from the CIC board.
Yeah.
Yeah,
To sit on
as
that.
long as the person from the public's a realtor, I don't care,
Yeah.
you know?
And it's me. No, I'm just kidding.
But
So I've always
the
wanted to do it,
downside
but I
of the
thought it was cool.
composition of the commission is that it's supposed to be indicative of the state, and so they added 2 seats, but they were from the north. Well, 15,000 realtors are down here, there's only 3,000 up north.
But realtors, but it affects everybody, real estate licensees,
The
right? Which we have
majority of the
authority.
Still
population is
majority
in
of that.
southern Nevada.
Correct.
And so
That
they
is
didn't really
accurate.
add anything Thank you.
Well, this is a.
You heard her here, folks. She said I was accurate.
The
I-
north and the south argument's been going on for years,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yes.
Many years.
Yeah.
That's
All right.
crazy.
Well, what else on the update? So if there's a call to action, how do I take action?
So you click on the button that says take action now, and then it takes you to a website, and then you can actually put
You
in
just
your
have- and all
contact
you can do
information, and it's already
It's click.
written up
Yeah.
for you.
It's already written up, and if
Yeah.
you want to add additional stuff at the very top, you can.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you just click on it, and it's all automatic.
Both
We
of-
make it realtor easy.
Both of you, surprisingly,
Easy.
both testified against a bill just recently.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we talked about that last week.
Oh, you did?
You clearly didn't watch the meeting.
I did. I just wanted to hear it again.
It's okay.
It was so enthralling the first time. Okay, so Tom, you brought up a great point, discussion topic, if you will, and it's about iBuyers that have re-entered the market, but now they're not lowballing you, they're offering more than market value for your home.
Yeah, I mean, look, iBuyers are smart. They know that the market's changing.
What's an iBuyer?
It's an investment firm or a conglomerate.
Anybody
It's
that's.
I mean, we have new agents
okay.
out there that need to understand when you say iBuyer.
What is it? What
Well,
is
you've
it?
heard of AEIOU?
I want to be I don't want to get in trouble.
Go ahead, get in trouble.
You're not the
No.
president of anything
Yeah.
I'll get you out of jail.
Yeah.
yet, yeah.
So look, Open Door, OfferPad, Zillow, home run offers from Ryan Pineda. All those people are considered
Awfully
iBuyers in my book. Anybody that's trying to offer somebody a property purchase over the internet, right? You can fill out a form and get a value for your
Internet
home.
buyer.
So internet buyer, how's that?
Okay, internet buyer.
Internet
Got it.
buyer,
All right,
okay.
I got it.
So they're smart, they understand that the market's going up and it's not gonna be stopping real soon. So they're hedging their bets to be able to buy these said properties, because if they don't buy them, they don't make any money, and if they don't make any money, the shareholders are mad, and the shareholders are mad, the whole thing just goes.
But ironically, most of those groups didn't make any money.
I know.
But they're funded by Wall Street, so they have large purse strings of.
They have a
capital.
lot of rope to use
Yes.
before they finally choke themselves.
So, but your point is they're now offering more than value because the market's trending positively in an upward trajectory, and we are getting multiple offers. And so now it's not a crappy offer anymore; it's a great
Right.
offer, but it still has fees attached.
And now you also have to figure out if the listing price is, let's say, $250, and the iBuyer has.
Let me know where you have a place for $250. We already have multiple offers.
And it's all of a sudden at $270.
Yes.
Right, the iBuyer thing has a $270. How are you gonna overcome that argument or that objection of why should I list with you for $250, which is what you said the
Yep.
market's worth, when I have a $270,000 offer?
Cool, just list it for $275,000.
Well, no, it's about net.
And charge the same
right?
thing.
I mean, the game doesn't change, just the players do, right? So
Ooh.
it's about net. It's
Yes.
about how much money is the seller going to put in his pocket. I can tell you I'm going to give you $290,000 for that house, but if I come in and charge you 10% fees, and then I come in and say, oh, there's $25,000 worth of repairs that have to be done,
Yep.
I mean, it's going to drive back down to, it's about net. So the conversation with your seller is about net. It's about knowing how to use a net sheet and showing the seller how much they're going to put in their pocket based on listing at $250 or taking the $270 and then paying the fees that go with it. So you have to help people understand it's not about the number that they get told, it's about how much money they put in their pocket.
I believe iBuyers are a tool, right? Because there are people that owe money
They're
today.
such tools.
And so if I
They're
knew,
clowns, if you
well,
ask
think
me.
about it though. If I knew that I could get you an offer today without showing the home, without dealing with any of the problems or the timelines or the issues, and I got the offer during my listing presentation and gave it to you at the table. I mean, number one reason someone fires their agent is their agent doesn't communicate or doesn't provide me with any offers, right? Hopefully that's not in this market. But if I went and got that offer and came into the listing appointment and said, listen, do you want to show the home 585 times? If you don't want to deal with 75 offers, here's an offer today, and we can close it immediately. Would you like to do that? Or would you like to go for the big prize? Right?
Or number three.
Yeah.
Or sell it for $270 and not have any repairs and not have anything else, because you as the seller are sitting in the driver's seat. You don't have to do any of that.
True.
And in this market, we have no clue. And if you're sitting there saying $250 is all you can get, you're crazy.
I
Don't
think-
say that.
Yeah.
Because we don't know what it's gonna be. We can test it at this, see what happens, and I'll be gosh darn surprised if we don't have somebody go way above whatever we put it on the market for.
Yep.
So it's just, you just gotta be a little bit more creative and
Well,
not so stuck.
I think Chris has a good point. I mean, it's a tool, right?
That's
I mean,
from two people, you've heard it.
He is a tool. If you have the ability to present that offer while you're there, why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you call up Ryan and say, hey, Ryan, I got 123 Main Street coming on the market. Could you give me an offer for it?
And he'd be happy to.
He'll provide it. Sean will get it to you in what?
Yeah.
An hour and a half?
Yeah.
And if you're
Like,
the one
it's not
talking about
hard.
it, if you're the one talking about it, the client won't be looking at it without you
Yeah,
being part
you're
of it.
representing them. You're
But in
making
today's
this a
market,
part of the
you
presentation.
gotta expect them to already have one, already done. So just,
Not
be
all the time,
prepared, but
yeah.
be prepared.
Yeah.
So there's a part two of this question, and it's how to defend your value in a market like this. And so I think back this weekend, we had an agent on our team that got 13 offers over 2 days on a property. She was communicating with every offer. She got most of the offers to raise their price. They were all involved. She was dealing with the phone calls, the showings, the activities, presenting the offers, going through all the nets, getting it to the client, I mean, now more than ever, you should be able to defend all of the extra work you're going to do to help a client get their offer accepted, and it's going for way more than you're listing the property for. So you're helping them net more money, to your point.
Yep.
Right? And so don't be afraid to still be out there selling your value, because you're going to work even harder than you ever have before. And stop telling everyone you sold the house in 1 day.
Yeah.
It was really easy. You don't want to have that message. What about my marketing plan got the home sold in 1 day?
What
right?
about what the percentage amount was that you went over list
Yes.
price? That might be a good one.
Yeah,
too, right?
absolutely. That's
Sold
huge.
for over 10% over list.
Yep.
Or
So
market value.
use the
whatever.
iBuyers as a tool in your business to represent your client.
Yep.
I mean, go get those offers
Yeah.
before you go on that listing.
And sit there and say, if they're willing to give you 270, I would bet that we probably get 290 to 300,000 in this market the way it is right now.
Yeah.
No guarantees though. Don't
Yeah.
ever guarantee
That's true.
anything.
Don't
I would
Yeah.
bet, again, I would bet.
Unless you plan on buying the house for that
Yeah.
much.
Because we
On
already
your
have,
own.
the 270 is not
Yeah.
going anywhere, right?
Yeah.
So let's see if we can't get more than that and have a huge net in your pocket, because we're not gonna charge you the
Yep.
10% or whatever and have all the huge repair costs and everything else that they're gonna charge you off the 270.
Here's the thing I think you should also understand. When you're dealing with an iBuyer company, the strategy is they come in with a repair request 1 week before closing, where you've already started packing your boxes, you've already found a place to go. Like you're essentially out of the house. I know you're probably still there for 2 or 3 more days, but they're gonna come in with this enormous repair request. And at that point, you're kind of stuck as a seller. Your seller is kind of stuck because now all the plans are put in place to move to the next place, and now we've got this $20,000 or $30,000 hit that we have to take. So the value that we bring as agents is we know that,
Yeah.
and we tell that to our clients. Be prepared for this, because they're going to come to you with a repair request at the last minute, at the 11th hour, and you need to be able to deal with that. How you deal with it is totally up to you, but be prepared for that.
So I've got a question on here, which is perfect segue into it. Requests for repairs in today's market, being a buyer's agent, representing a buyer, and having a buyer ask for 50 things on a repair request makes no sense compared to the fact that you were competing to get the house, and the seller's in a great position to say no. But did you ever let the buyer know that that's the market and that's what the seller's thinking, because they have 12 backup offers behind them? Are you guys having those conversations with sellers?
Yep.
What are you saying?
To the sellers or the
Yeah.
buyers?
Both.
Buyers, yeah.
So for the sellers, it's, look, you don't have to. I always recommend that if there is, for instance, repairs that need to be done because of financing conditions, but I'm gonna know that up front, because I've walked the property and I know there's no water straps on the water heater, right? I know that there's no smoke detectors in every single room. I know that there's, like, I've seen, yeah, you gotta get, or straps.
Earthquake
Earthquake
straps,
straps, thank you,
yeah.
on the water heater.
so
Did I say that wrong?
Yeah,
Did I
the
say
water
that
heater's
right?
not strapped
Whatever.
down. It's gonna run away.
Did you understand what I was saying? All right.
Water heater's running down the street.
Shut up. So there's no straps on the water heater. There's no smoke detectors. The door doesn't close for the, from the garage to the house. Like, I know some of these things are already coming up, and they're probably going to be part of an appraisal condition.
Yeah.
Now, I have sellers that are like, look, I want to sell it as is. I do not want to bother with any of this.
Yeah.
So if the buyers are interested in making those repairs to get it approved for the appraisal, by all means, they're welcome to do it, right? So that is definitely a conversation that I have with the buyer's agent. And then on the other side, when I'm talking to the buyer, listen, they're likely they could say no repairs.
You're wasting paper.
Right, they could
Yeah.
say no repairs. I'm happy to put it on here because you've requested it, and we'll see what happens. I had a seller that said absolutely no repairs, as is, condition, so on and so forth. The buyer came in with a list of repairs, and it was like 2 or 3 things. I submitted it to the seller because that's what I'm supposed to do.
Yep.
And the seller said, I'll make it, I'll do it,
Yeah.
not a problem. So even if you have as is, sometimes you can still
You can
get it
always
done.
ask.
It's really up to the clients, it's the parties that make that decision.
Yeah, and it
not
also
you.
doesn't kill the deal if you ask.
Right.
Well, I'm getting a lot of calls saying, hey, they're asking this, as my seller, can I get out of it?
Yeah.
Because they want all the stuff and I'm not gonna do it. No, you're still in the deal. This is just due diligence for the buyer, asking those questions and asking if they'll do it. If you don't do it, that's okay, the contract still goes on.
So to summarize your points, that it's always okay to ask, but if I prepare the buyer for the fact that they're probably not going to do anything,
Yep.
because you saw 40 people in line to see the house when we went
Oh,
to get it,
yeah.
and we're lucky we got it, so just be prepared for the no, but we'll ask, right?
Well,
Same
but
thing with the seller.
the key to this is that conversation can't happen after you're in contract, after you've done an
Great point.
inspection, and there's this list of repairs. If that's when you're having that conversation,
Yeah.
then it just sounds like you're trying to protect your commission.
Yeah.
Well-
You have to have this conversation in your consult, in your buyer consult. Hey, buyer, listen, this is the condition of the market.
Yep.
Here's how that affects repairs. Now, I'm not saying we can't ask for repairs, but at the same time, you need to be prepared to maybe take this house with a few things wrong that you wouldn't have 2 years ago.
Yep.
Right, but it's got to happen before the fact. If it's happening when the inspection report comes in with this 2 pages of problems, it's never going to go well, buy side or sell side.
You could set the expectation with the buyer and the seller. You're probably going to have to repeat yourself 2 or 3 times throughout the
Absolutely, but
transaction.
when you're
There's so
repeating
much for
yourself-
them to, yeah,
But when you're repeating yourself,
better.
that's different than having that initial conversation.
correct.
Remember when I told you about this? This
Yeah.
is where
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
at.
Yeah.
Remember when? So you posted something on Facebook this last week that I thought was fantastic.
Oh, you heard it here.
Yeah.
Oh my God, oh my
And
gosh.
so
Chris read something.
Chris.
Yeah, it was about the way that you present to the other party, the other agent. The
Oh,
fact that
yeah.
you have multiple offers, the fact that there are multiple offers that came in that are looking at getting the property that are competitive.
Yep.
And basically the way you treat the other people in the deal.
Correct.
Talk a little bit about that and what you're seeing.
So I can't even take credit for it because it wasn't something that I
Wow.
wrote up, right? But it
You heard
was
it
so
here.
phenomenal. I know. I don't take credit for everything everybody does.
Yeah, you
But
do.
this particular thing I definitely did not do. And so on there, it was, it was on, I put it on the agent's signature. I know, can you please stop? I'm thinking.
It's about Vonda.
It's on the.
Can we adjust the light? 'Cause
So we
Stop
are-
clowning around. Get this, let's go.
So I
Focus.
posted on the agent's signature that there was a listing agent that sent out an email to everybody. It said, we're going to make a decision today. So Mary and Tom or whatever it was, or Mary and, I don't know.
Tom.
It's okay, you can use Tom, it's all right.
Okay, are going to make a decision today
Well,
at
always
5
needed.
p.m., right? And today's date or whatever. Here's what we have, and here's what the seller would like.
Yeah.
And you have an opportunity to go back to your buyers with this information and up the ante, right?
Yep.
Essentially, that's
Yeah,
what it's asking for.
So the question
and that's
becomes-
a phenomenal way, I think, to bring up the price, inform everybody what's happening. I mean, that's your job as a
Right,
listing
negotiate
agent, right?
fairly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can
And
you
be
do
fair.
that through an email, or does it have to be on a counteroffer?
It's on an email. That was
On
just an email.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the other point that's important is that if you're the agent on the other side and you've been killing yourself with this buyer, right? You've been taking them out, 35 homes, you've been waiting in line.
Yeah.
It's like Disneyland now. You got to get a
Yeah.
fast pass to get into the home on time, right? And so you're waiting to get your offer accepted and your buyer is only in town for the weekend. And all you want to know is, are we going to have a chance or not? And by sending an email like that, you basically level the playing field with everybody that it's fair, because you're going to work with all these people down the road in some way. Real estate always comes back around.
You will be on the other foot.
Absolutely, and you want to know that it's fair. And I love the way the email doesn't give away information about the file that's confidential, but it tells you basically the seller, whatever offer they take, they care about these things. And it tells everyone we have 62 offers.
Yeah.
Be a little bit more competitive in what you're asking for.
Right. And so many of them are above this, and so many of them are above this, and
Janet?
it's perfect.
Well, it's all about communication. I wrote an offer last week, and I called the agent, as I tell all my agents to do. I called him ahead of time, and I said, I'm getting ready to write an offer on your property at whatever address. Is there anything I need to know before I write the offer? And he said, well, not really. The only thing you need to know is I do have multiple offers. And I said, do I have time to type up the offer and get it to you? And he said, yeah, we're not presenting tonight and probably not till Monday, but send it in. So I communicated with him, we wrote the offer, we sent it in, he sent out a highest and best. But when I sent it to him, I called him, I said, I have just emailed you the offer. And as I'm typing this in on my computer, a little thing flashes across the bottom that says, thank you, I received your offer. So Monday morning, bright and early, he called me and he said, I'm reaching out to you because of all the offers that I had. You were the only agent that communicated to me.
That's crazy.
So I wanted to personally let you know that unfortunately, my seller
I thought the story was going to go a different
I
way.
thought there was a happy
my
ending.
seller selected another offer. But the thing is, it was communication back and forth.
Yeah.
And he made a point of telling me, I didn't call anybody else to tell them we didn't accept their offer. Because you have to reach out and communicate in this market. I was so thrilled with him. I
You hired
called
him.
his broker and said, you have a fabulous, fabulous agent. Let me tell you what he did. He answered his phone. He called me. Not happening.
What I like about that too is many times the offer, the buyer was so competitive and they did something so crazy that they threw out this offer and then they have a day to think about it once it gets accepted and they decide to cancel. And because you had that great communication, who's he going to call first to say the home's back on the market? And we've been seeing that a lot lately too.
Yeah.
Let's go to a different side of the coin. Let's talk about, I'm the listing agent and I get multiple offers. What are some things that I need to be cognizant of to present them to my seller? I've written a few items, but I want to get your opinion on what you think. What's the easiest way to present multiple offers at once?
A net sheet.
Net sheet.
An Excel spreadsheet.
Yep, I wrote
So,
down
well,
spreadsheet.
With the
I will
net
tell
at the
you-
bottom.
I will
with
tell you-
Net sheets attached.
So Chicago Title has an app where you can actually do multiple net sheets
Love it.
on one page. So your clients can see it
Yeah.
all in one page and how they compare. Really, that's all that matters, right? I
Right.
mean, as we talk about like the love letters and blah, blah, none of that matters.
Nope.
It is just the net.
Dollars in their
And that's what
pocket.
you said earlier, it's about the net.
Dollars in their
3
pocket.
FHA offers at 300,000 can
An
all net
iBuyer.
different things.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah, and so I love the idea of, as the offers come in, offer number 1, offer number 2, and offer number 38, and I put them all on a spreadsheet and I show the seller, here's 1 through 38 and how they net out. Let's look at the ones you really like in this idea. I also like the idea of communicating to the offers that are coming in as the process unfolds. So it's nothing to send a quick email to say, hey, we got your offer, we only had 2 or 3, now we have 35. You may want to increase your offer, we're presenting tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Let us know your highest and best. Highest and best still something everyone's doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have to ask.
And here's the thing, right? When I'm on the buy side though, I let my clients know your offer has to be the highest and best. There's no reason for us to have to
Great
go
point.
back. Like
Yeah.
if you're already doing that from the get-go, this is all you can afford, this is all you're willing to put in, now you're not gonna be pissed off if somebody else went higher because that
You
was.
couldn't afford it
You
then.
gave your, you
Right.
gave your
You gave
best
your best shot.
offer, right?
So I put down clean offers float to the top, and what I mean by that is if you're nitpicking every little fee, home warranty, I'm gonna pay you $30,000 over list price, but we want you to pay the home warranty, right? I mean, making the offer as clean as possible, taking those things out. We've even seen some adding in seller costs like the transfer tax or title fees, things like that. Workable timelines. So if you have 35 offers and you say we're gonna present this afternoon at 2 o'clock, is that a workable timeline? And I've seen a lot of crazy things posted on the MLS. Would you accept the first offer the first day? Would you recommend a seller do that? What would you tell a seller when they say, what should we do?
If they only have one offer,
Well, let's say that they list the property, they get an offer immediately that's list price. Are you telling the seller, yeah, just go ahead and accept it? What would you like to do kind of thing?
In this
not
market?
in this market.
Right?
Crazy.
So
want
what
a
timeline
week-
do you set?
You want a weekend.
A
If
weekend,
You
okay.
should have your meetings with your sellers on Monday, Tuesday night the latest. But on Monday would probably be the best. And let everybody know on Friday that, hey,
Yep.
Monday is it, guys, so that they have the weekend to do it. Because let's face it, everybody works over the weekend.
So don't
Todd-
react too quickly.
I know Todd's team does a really great job of listing
You heard it
properties.
here.
Of listing properties, right, on a Monday or a Tuesday or whatever, getting
Thursday.
or Thursday, right? So you get the property in a coming soon status. Thursday you go door knocking. Friday it hits the market or
Thursday it hits the market.
whatever.
Door
And
knock
then-
on Wednesday.
Oh, well maybe it wasn't your thing then. So
You heard it here second.
She's just clowning around. That's all that's going on.
And then on Saturday, you do an open house, right, with appointments for every single agent that wants to look at it. It's on Saturdays.
In today's market, we're
Just
not
take
allowing
control.
any showings until our open house on Saturday.
Right.
You take control
So
of the
it's live on
situation.
Thursday.
Right.
We do also door knock on Friday for our open house on Saturday. And then we hold a 5-hour open house, and all appointments to see the property are during that 5-hour open house.
And then, so Sunday you get to review, Monday you talk to the seller, and you present all the offers on Monday. So you have 2 days to figure that
So
stuff out.
we're allowing time. So the banks pioneered this, right? 7-day review period, right? We want 7 days. Well, 10 days, 7 days.
So we don't present until the next Monday.
Gotcha.
So we let it be on the market another week, hold another open house on the weekend, and then we present on the next Monday. So
Well, you're really milking
we
that
put
listing for
that-
everything you can get, huh?
Yeah, I'm trying to find as many buyers as I
But he's
can.
created a plan the seller can buy into to know that they've
This is
given
what we're gonna do.
complete idea of what offers they're gonna get.
Well,
Great.
and there's a reason between each one of those
Right.
steps.
Yeah.
And that's the value I bring to the table when I go list a house is, this is what we're going to do. This is our marketing strategy,
Yep.
and this is why we do it.
So you don't have
Because
people trapped
I
into
want-
your house.
I want
at
2
all
open
hours of the night.
houses,
Yeah.
2 open houses in the first 10 days. So listing on Thursday allows that. We're gonna do an open house on Saturday, we're gonna do another open house on the next Saturday, and then we're gonna present all offers on the next Monday. And we have plenty of time to communicate about raise your price,
Yeah.
because as their offer sits and waits, they raise their price, and then they raise their price again.
I gotta ask a question though, because I know it'll happen. So I come by and view the property, it's listed at 300. I offer you 375 cash, but you gotta respond today.
That's stupid.
Our agent-to-agent
Stupid.
remarks. Our agent-to-agent remarks tells you when we're gonna be presenting, and that's when we're gonna be presenting.
Gotcha.
Well, that's good, because most agents I've discovered are presenting offers that go, okay, we don't want to give time for a lot of offers to come in, so we're going to give the
That's
sellers
crazy.
24
Right?
hours
No,
to
they're stupid.
respond.
Who's doing that?
Lots of people.
Stupid.
Lots of people
They're
are
killing
doing
themselves.
that.
Here's the
They're
thing.
taking
No
themselves
matter
out
what
of
the
the-
timeline is, like you said, it's the seller's decision on your plan,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
So no matter what, the seller has decided on a marketing strategy
That
to
you're
cause
following.
their home to be sold, and I think that's the whole point. Get it in writing that they get the plan. Providing written rejection. So now NAR has decided, and we did that, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
You must provide upon request a written signed rejection from the client. And so now you have 38 offers. And how do you provide written rejection? What do you do?
You send it to Amy, and then
Say,
she sends it
I
out.
text Amy.
Don't-
You reject
Hey,
all
all
of
of these.
Don't
are
copy
rejected
off of my
except for this
sheet.
one. Oh, yeah. Are you kidding? And that right there is
Yeah, it's
full blown
worth its weight in
value
gold.
for why you hire
Yeah.
Amy, right?
Well, I
The-
think
I just-
the important part there is that it's upon request. So what
Yes.
we do is we send an email out to all 37 that didn't get offered,
Letting them know,
accepted.
yeah.
And say, hey, your offer was not accepted. If you want a formal written rejection, please let me know. And then if they respond back, and out of 37, you're going to get 3 or 4 that go, yeah, I need a written rejection. Okay, great. It's a little easier.
Yep.
that way.
So I'm actually gonna back that up or say I disagree, because I'm gonna back it up and disagree, because if there is a problem with the real estate division for any reason with that file,
Yeah.
I wanna have it in my file that was rejected by the seller, and the only way to do that is to really have their actual written rejection. And so I have them sign everything.
The fact
And
that
by
they
I
took the other
mean-
offer and signed that one doesn't reject all the others?
No, I want to make sure that they saw it. That's the
Oh.
problem. You have to.
Well, you have it on the net sheet.
You have to actually show it to them. That's what the law says.
Well, I did when I did the net sheet. I showed them all the offers that they received.
Yeah,
That's it.
it's on the net
But did he
sheet.
get the net sheet signed? Probably not.
Who's
Right.
going to jail?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I want to
So
know.
But-
Not
I agree
it.
with Vandana.
Thank you, Jim.
But I think the whole thing is if you have a good process in place, process.
You're covered.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Yeah.
Because
All
I
right.
can argue that.
So let's go to the last point I put on here, and that's treat everyone how you want to be treated. And that's the golden rule in real estate is that don't do anything to somebody else that you wouldn't want done to you. And your process that you've now outlined is something that you would deem fair to be done to you. Right?
Yep.
And so that's the litmus test to make sure that your process out there makes sense for that.
Set the
Yeah.
expectations for everybody.
Love it.
I think that's the key.
All right, so keep up with the multiple offers, keep selling those properties, and let's go to the disclosures after you get the offers. You brought up SRPDs.
Yeah, SRPD. What's an SRPD?
It's a
For those out there in TV.
Seller's
that
real
don't know.
property disclosure. It's a disclosure that the seller provides to the buy side.
Who provides it?
For everything they know about the
seller.
property.
The seller is
Who provides it?
required
Seller?
to provide it per Nevada
The
law.
seller
Even
requires it?
FSBOs
The seller
are
provides it.
required.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Even
state law.
FSBOs, yeah.
Everybody has to provide it.
Okay.
So here's what I wanted to specifically talk about SRPDs is how do we advise our clients on what should and shouldn't be on an SRPD? That's my question.
I don't advise them anything until they fill it out and I get it back and I notice that there's a blank. And I don't tell them what to put on it, but Mr. Seller, you left 3 boxes that say all boxes must be checked blank. Do you want to fill in those boxes or not? And if the seller says no, go jump in a lake, then that's their answer. That's going to go in my file, but I am going to point out that the document's wrong.
Well, Chris, hey, I appreciate that you called me to let me know about the 3 boxes, and I do want to fix those because I want to disclose as much as I can possibly. Let me ask you a question. In 2018, a little over 3 years ago, we had a leak in one of our bathrooms, and it was that valve. But it was fixed by a plumber.
Great.
The insurance company paid for it. It's all good.
Sure.
I didn't disclose. That's okay, right?
Well, listen, I can't advise you, Todd, on what you should or shouldn't put on the document, but if you thought enough to know about it, there's a whole blank page that you can write all that information in. And I'm sure when you paid for something, you got a receipt, right?
Well, the insurance company paid for it. I don't know.
Do you remember the insurance company that did it?
Oh, I'm sure it's, I can figure
It's
it
the
out.
same one I've been paying for 5 years.
So, Todd, listen, I completely understand this happens on pretty much every deal. And guess what? On the back of every page, it's blank. And that's for your value. You can actually go in and write the entire story, as many pages as you want to write about what happened, and I'd be happy to provide that to the other party.
And the better the story, the better they know that you've disclosed as much about the property as possible, because you've overtold them everything. You told them about the dang toilet that leaked and caused that one stain that's still up there I can't get rid of, even though I've killed it 5 times and repainted it 3 times, it still comes back. So tell the story, because they're gonna ask.
Here's what scares me about SRPDs, truthfully, is that if I buy a house and I'm the 3rd owner, if the previous owners have disclosed to each other what they knew about the property and then disclosed it to me on previous SRPDs, I now have knowledge of that entire property, and I'm responsible to provide the entire history because it was provided to me. And so how do you adequately provide the entire history? Well, when I did the deal with Vanina when I bought the house, she provided me an SRPD, and now I'm doing it with Todd. I should technically take that SRPD, attach it to mine, and now I've disclosed everying I've ever done.
Oh, but who keeps that paper?
Nobody, but
What homeowner keeps the damn paper?
That's the point.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Right, and so you could say that it's available if they want it or whatever. So I'm gonna also say that when you have a property, for instance, that was managed by a property manager, go get that information, because a lot of landlords are like, I don't know what.
Pay for bills.
They pay for bills, but they don't realize that also should be disclosed.
Yep.
So you can put that as part of the SRPD
That's why banks are
packet.
not exempt, because they're paying for bills.
Correct.
Even though they didn't live in the property.
Well, and here's the funny thing is that let's say you have, so there's a couple of people that are exempt from filling out the
Very
SRPD.
rare. Harder to find than a leprechaun, okay?
Right. It's actually in the SRPD on
St. Patty's Day reference there.
page 4, 4 and 5. You can actually find who's exempt in there. And I
If
think
you're
we
dead,
mentioned
you're
it about
exempt.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so here's the thing.
Or the federal government.
Let's say that you are,
too.
let's say you no longer, you're dead, right? So you no longer can fill out the SRPD.
Hopefully not.
However, in your trust it says your mama gets the house. And so your mama decides that she is not going to fill out the SRPD because she doesn't know anything,
Doesn't matter.
right? And she's not exempt because she's not an exemption to.
But she doesn't know anything, so the answers to the
Except
questions
for the
are,
fact,
I don't
no.
know of any issue.
Except for the fact that there's probably an HOA, right?
Yes, correct.
Or that it's that
Correct.
it's municipal
Yeah.
for sewer, or that, right? So some of those questions she absolutely has an answer
Absolutely.
to.
Yep.
So,
And in the back of the SRPD, the best phrase in there is the seller is not responsible for things the seller didn't know.
right.
All right, so let me ask you this question about the SRPD.
Please.
So you have a tenant who's lived in a house for 2 years, and the seller decides, your lease is up, I need to sell this property. The tenant says, oh, I think I want to buy it. The tenant goes into contract with the seller.
Yeah.
The tenant goes, I don't need an SRPD, I'm the one that's lived here for 2 years,
Sorry,
I
it's
don't
law.
want it.
There, fill it out.
Exactly, and we've had that issue happen more than
Yeah.
once.
Well, they're not going to get paid on that file if we don't have an
Right.
SRPD.
By the way, that's
Anyway, so-
another piece of value that you as the agent are bringing to the table, that the most sellers in that instance, I've seen many times a landlord say, oh yeah, I just sell it to my tenants, we do it with an attorney, they handle everything, and that's what we transfer. But the attorneys don't practice the same documents unless they're litigating them against somebody. They don't think of things that way. We do as agents, and that's another way that we provide value of why you use us versus going through the process.
And the other one you left out was 3rd degree of consanguinity. So if you sell to a family member that's related within 3 degrees of separation.
Consang what?
Consanguinity.
That's a drink, isn't it?
No.
That's like immobilization of the housing market.
Yeah.
But we can make it
So,
one.
are you guys done?
No.
Oh.
Okay, so here's my question about SRPD. It's hard to
You
get
should
a
have
word in
started with
edgewise,
that.
you know? So now we're
That's
3 years,
odd.
now we've sold the home, seller sold the home. By the way, didn't disclose the plumbing issue that was repaired 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now the new buyer comes back and says, hey, there's a leak in that bathroom that you didn't disclose, and here's a ticket for $5,000 that it cost me to get it fixed. And the neighbor next door told me that there was a leak there because they were your good friend, and they actually showed me in the roof right there where the repair was done, and you didn't disclose that repair 3 years ago,
Yeah.
and so now I'm suing you.
So a couple of
Or
things.
maybe I'm gonna sue.
Confirm me if I'm wrong. There's two pieces to that. Number one, if it's been repaired by a licensed contractor, right? And I know that, my answer on the SRPD, is there any plumbing issue, would be
No.
no, because there is no issue, it's been repaired. But they ask the question, this is what gets everybody, has there ever been a water leak? And it's the only question that says, has there
Page
ever
2
been?
at the very
Page
top.
2, number 2.
And
Right.
so you would have been incorrect if you had never disclosed that we actually had a water leak, but you don't actually have an issue. The second thing is there's a statute of limitations on some items, and I'm not an attorney, and you need to
But
get
you
with
play
one.
one on TV.
Yeah, play one in your house is the better answer. But-
Holiday Inn Express
yeah,
last night.
but the whole idea is that I would definitely never give advice to a client when that issue happens. I would get a real estate attorney to give them a consultation, because the whole thing with lawsuits, it doesn't matter what I put on the document. I've seen attorneys take one checkbox that didn't even apply and turn it into a lawsuit,
Yeah.
right?
So here's what I think I wanted to. So
What do you-
this is real thing. This is real. This isn't. I didn't make this. I didn't.
Sure.
This is happening.
Is it real?
This is happening. It's
It's
real.
happening.
Did it happen?
It did happen. It's happening right
Right now.
now. Right. Why I was late getting here. It was happening right now.
Okay.
But here's my point. Here's what I want to say about SRPDs. We can't give our clients advice on what to put on their SRPDs.
Because then it's your butt on the line
Yep.
when
But
there's
what
a
you
problem.
can do is you can share experiences like this and say, if there's anything that you know about, you really should be disclosing it, right? Even if you think it was repaired and it's all good and I've never had another problem with it, you should be disclosing. Brandon says all the time, a complete SRPD is a get out of jail free card. If it's on there, it's been disclosed, and they close on the property, they have no way to come back to you legally. So that's the advice to our clients, is everything that you know needs to be on here, and treat this document. I mean, we, on my team, we leave the SRPD with them at a listing point. We don't have them do it while we're there, because we don't want to put the added pressure of them hurrying up and
Check the
getting it
boxes,
done.
hurry up.
Right? We're gonna leave this, we're gonna give you a week to fill it out, we're gonna come back in a week and we're gonna pick this up from you.
Fair point.
And then if we have any boxes that are empty, if we have any of those kind of challenges, then of course we'll address those. But the SRPD, the advice to give to your seller about the SRPD is put everything on there. Whether you think it's gonna kill the deal or not kill the deal, put it on the SRPD, because when it doesn't kill the deal, it's a get out of jail free card. You don't have to worry about it ever again.
I'm going to stop you though, because I'm pretty sure that we
Jesus.
have questions.
She's just clowning around.
Do we have questions?
Yes.
Oh, see, I knew it.
Monica Molinar, how many Pitbulls are even aware of the law requiring them to provide?
Only the ones I tell. Right? I mean, that's the
good
point.
answer.
Only the ones I tell.
That's exactly why we should be calling for sell by owners
Yeah.
and making sure they remember to disclose to the buyer.
what?
Don't tell them with what document, because then they're gonna need you, that's value, to come back and
This-
show them what document.
This whole thing that she just did is all laws that are already on the books that they're augmenting or creating. And so when this law gets passed, the state government publishes it, and tells you, and that's how you know that that's now a law. So at one point when that happened, 25 years ago, that was when they told everyone that lives in the state, this is the law, right?
And since, Chris wasn't quite born then, he doesn't remember that law, so it's a good thing that he's in. It's a good question, though. How do they know? Listen,
don't. Is that it?
it's a good
They don't
question.
necessarily know.
How do they know? They don't know, and that's why when we call for sell by owners as a professional, guys, that's providing value. Hey, don't forget when you find a buyer for your home to disclose all of the state required documents. Oh, what are those? What are those? You know what? I apologize, but my broker doesn't allow me to share that information until I represent you.
Yeah.
By the way, when will you be hiring?
Here's your
me?"
listing, here's the listing agreement, sign
Right?
it.
Sign hard,
That's
two copies.
value. That's keeping them out of trouble, and that's all they really just want to make the most money they can.
So last couple of points on here, if you're done with your SRPD question.
No, I have one. No, I'm done.
Okay, cool.
we're
One of
done.
the other big things that we're seeing is we're getting a lot more MLS violation notices for failure to update close dates. And the
Yeah.
reason behind that is the market's so hot, all these deals going on, things are extending, and we've seen a lot of extensions. And when you extend a deal, you also have to extend your close date, or the MLS will send you a notice. If you don't fix it, they'll fine you. And so I've gotten about 30 of them that have happened. I know that because all of you have gotten them too. And so please make sure you're updating your close of escrow dates in the MLS so you don't get fined. The app is live in the App Store, our company app, which is amazing, our signature app. If you're not using it, you should be, because we're going to be communicating with you that way. All of us are on it, and so definitely download the app from the App Store.
It's like your hotline to us.
It's your
Yeah.
hotline. Yeah, yeah. It's
It's the only way I can
your
get
fingers
a
on
hold
the
of
button.
It's the only way I can get a hold of Brandon nowadays.
Right. And so here's the best part of the meeting so far. Janet is going to share with us some great positives of things that she's seen in the market. So
Miss
Janet,
Positive.
Yes,
No
I
refunds.
get to talk. I'm telling you, my office has been, and I'm sure the other offices too, but my office has basically been dead since the 1st of March of last year. And now there is all this excitement going on. People are coming in. People either had COVID, or like yesterday, I ran to the copier, left my office and forgot my mask. And there was an agent in there that I have not seen in 2 years. No kidding, 2 years. And he was sitting at the computer with his mask on, and I said, "What are you doing here?" And he said, "I decided it was about time." And I said, "I'm sorry, I don't have my mask, but I've been vaccinated." And he said, "Oh, I've been vaccinated." And we are getting so many people who are coming in. The whole front part of our office that's set up like a living room. I have a group of 4, sometimes it's 5, that are coming in every single day. They're sitting in the front of the office, they're cold calling, they're critiquing each other. "Well, you might have wanted to say this. Yeah, that was really good." And the synergism that's coming from that is something to absolutely behold. It's been so much fun that even Ashley is using my word now. She's like, "The synergism in the office is so great." I have another agent who had not been in. She's been a producing agent, but COVID kind of knocked her off her feet. She was a pretty high producing agent. She came in on Friday, made an appointment for 2 o'clock, and she stayed for 3 hours. And she's like, "I'm revitalized." And so it's happening. And if you're sitting at home and you haven't been in the office, all of us up here are good, except for Chris. But
Chris is good.
my age group has not come up for vaccination yet.
Well, it
He has no underlying health issues.
It does April 7th if you're over 16.
Blueberry doesn't come up on the list.
Rhonda has had her vaccination, Todd's had it, I've had mine, vaccination. Tom's had his vaccination and had COVID.
Yeah.
So things
I've
are
been
really
doubly damned.
good. We're looking forward to more social events.
Spring is sprung.
In fact, I have an agent who transferred over from another office, and we're really excited to get her. And she came in yesterday and she said, "I can't believe this company." She said, "This is so great. I told my mom I have joined the best company ever." She said, "Thursday there's wine and cheese at the Southwest. Friday there's a whiskey party at the Southwest. No, Thursday. Friday we're having a happy hour here." I am so happy to be in this office.
Well,
So we're getting out there. We're trying to get back to normal. We're not all the way there yet. But if you haven't been into your office, come in, because it's starting to get really, really
So
exciting.
I think the point is what's happening in Janet's office is happening across the valley. Restaurants are open and packed. Casinos are open and packed. Pretty much everywhere you go out there now, people are getting back out there. And so don't sit at home and wait for business to happen. Go and create it, because you're only going to get one opportunity to get going in this market again. And so now's a good time.
Now's the time.
Yeah. Anything that we missed? Beta, any questions that we didn't answer?
We got it all.
No, but I just
Wow.
want to go on record. I've already booked it. It's already happening. Summerlin is going to have a Cinco de Mayo party on Wednesday, May 5th. Prosperity will be hosting the taco truck. I'll have my famous homemade margaritas, and it will be a guacamole tasting contest.
Can I be a judge?
Oh.
And
Can I be
yeah,
a judge?
you could. Yeah, and a salsa tasting contest.
Salsa, I'll hold off on. I think
So,
it's too long.
put it on your calendar, everybody's invited, we've got enough room, we can spread out. Last year, there were probably, well, not last year, we couldn't do it, but the year before that, when we did it, we probably had 120 people crammed in our kitchen. Thank God we opened the doors in the kitchen, and the taco truck was right there, people were outside. So, I've already booked the date, guys, sorry.
Good deal. That's okay.
You know what's really exciting too is that next week is Academy.
Yes.
Oh.
Brandon is teaching Academy, and
Yeah.
it's packed. I mean, completely full, standing room only.
And that's why
I'm
he's not
surprised.
Here. That's probably why he's not here, because he's going, I'm going to be on stage enough next week.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is a full week. I mean, 8 to 5
I don't know
every
how he
day.
does it.
Yeah.
I don't know how he does it either, but it's because he cares.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
So.
All right, guys. Well, thank you. Hope you have a great time at the sales meeting. We enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a great week. Sell something expensive. That helps.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.